Hi, Moy, it's TEMPHUiBIS here. So I went around my friend's house yesterday. We were going to watch Prometheus around his house because he's got it on Blu-ray. And in a change of plans, he realised he remembered that he had a file of Resident Evil Damnation. So he was like, "Want to watch that instead?" I was like, "Oh, alright then, we'll give that a go." Now, you know what the funny thing is, right, yeah, about Resident Evil Damnation. Okay, before I get to that, yeah, the first thing I've got to say is that is what you call a Resident Evil film. That is what I would call a Resident Evil film. It's probably the best Resident Evil film I've ever seen by a clear mile. Anyway, but before, let's go back to what I was going to say before, yeah. You know what the funny thing about Resident Evil Damnation is, right, yeah, is that a lot of people told me about it time ago. They told me about the trailer, and I didn't watch the trailer. I missed my shot. I didn't actually get to watching the trailer. So when people were telling me about the film, and then later on they stopped on telling me about it, I thought it was actually going to be another live action. Yeah, I thought it was going to be another live action film. I didn't know yet that this was 3D animation. You know, another CGI film. I was so when the film came on, I was starting to think, yeah, oh, so this is another CGI film like Degeneration. Now, Degeneration to me was a good film, just that there was a lot of things missing in it. A lot of things that I thought just needed. There were some things that needed filling in. So I was wondering, would this film fill those holes in? And yes, they sure did. So I'm going to say my thoughts on them, yeah? There might be a lot of spoilers in this thoughts. So if you don't want to know, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't seen the film yet and you don't want to be spoiled about it and everything like that, yeah, then this is your chance to just turn off this video and watch it again when you've watched the film. This is your chance. So turn it off. You've been warned. So the thing I definitely got to say is this film is really, really fantastic. So what I'm going to talk about first, yeah, I'm going to talk about the characters, because Leon was absolutely terrific. You know, if you're a Leon Kennedy fan, you're going to like Leon in this film. The voice was done by Matthew Mercer, you know, who also does his voice in Resident Evil 6. He sounds almost like the actor from Resident Evil 4. Really, he was they definitely got the character done perfect out, and I think he was absolutely wicked in the film. You know, and also Ada Wong, she was brilliant in the film. You know, I thought the little quick tiny fight scene there with the president, you know, was absolutely terrific. And then you had that guy Buddy, who was actually controlling the lickers. I forgot why he was able to do that, but it was so wicked how he was doing that. And let's talk about the lickers. The lickers were utterly fantastic. You know, the CGI looked wicked on them. They looked completely freaking realistic. Yeah, you know, watching them, yeah, they looked like they were alive. Definitely, they were just absolutely fucking terrific, and they were very brutal. This film is brutal. You know, it's got this violent edge in it. That's what makes it Resident Evil. It's got this violent edge in it, and it's, you know, man, the lickers, they were just simply not fucking about in this film, man. They were just going for ripping off your heads and everything and that, or just eating your face up and all that, man. It was fucking sick. And the way Buddy was controlling them was actually terrific, because that scene at the end where Leon and Buddy are trying to take out the tyrant, you know, he had to sort of use the lickers as teamwork with Leon. You know, that scene was just absolutely amazing. Another thing that I really love from the film, yeah, is like the background and the graphics and stuff. It's like, it looked like it was a Resident Evil. At some points, it looked like survival horror. You know what I mean? They had like the Parasites, you know, that's in it, you know, I forgot what the actual names of those parasites were. They're in, they're in Resident Evil 4, they're in 5 as well, where they stuck them down your throat, it takes over your whole body, and then sometimes when you shoot the head off, yeah, the thing comes out. They had that in this film. The one thing they didn't have in this film, yeah, was zombies. They were all more or less. This film did seem a bit more based on Resident Evil 4 and 5. Well, I'm not going to say the whole entire film was based on Resident Evil 4 and 5, yeah, because I mean there is some aspects in there that did sort of give me a feeling like it was Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3 and all that, but there wasn't zombies, which I wish that could have been icing on the cake, but it was still a fantastic film overall for me. The action in there was absolutely terrific. The scenes in there had a good little balance. It had its little funny jokes here and there. The character JD, he was a funny character, definitely just I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. This is what I always say, yeah, that when it comes to doing films based on video games, yeah, it's always best to do the CGI films. That's one of the reasons why I feel, yeah, the Tekken film, yeah, that's on, was it Bloody Rebellion, yeah? I think that film was fucking brilliant as well. Now this film, I felt this Resident Evil was the best Resident Evil film ever. Degeneration was great, but this one just fucking killed it. I think it's better than any freaking live action Resident Evil films I've ever done, really. Because, I mean, let me go back to the backgrounds as well, yeah? Those times where you just look at the background and it just looked like a background on the game, Resident Evil. I always feel that in a live action film here, you're never really going to get a place that's already built to try and look like a fictional place, unless you do some next thing and build it up from scratch or whatever and all that, or make the whole entire background CGI in that as well, which then again there's no point doing a live action film. This is one of the reasons why I usually say CGI films are really they're just a way, boy, when you really want your film about a game to come out looking like the game. But and the story here wasn't too bad in it as well. But really what really impressed me everything was the action, the camera views, the animation. As an animator myself, man, that was just absolute terrific stuff, and I really enjoyed what I was seeing. And as a Resident Evil fan, that impressed me. It really did impress me. So there isn't really much else I can say in it, just that the acting's good and everything and all that. The one thing I can see from looking at the credits is you can tell that all of this more or less just happened just before Resident Evil 6 takes place. You can tell from looking at the credits page, because it shows some of the cutscenes on that. So it's obviously based on going to Resident Evil 6. It's too bad that the gameplay for Resident Evil 6 and the way Resident Evil 6 is itself, I don't know if it's really matching that. I mean, after playing the demo for Resident Evil 6, I just don't even know about it. I will get the game one day, but yeah. But with this film, I recommend, yeah, you guys might want to get this film, man. Because this film is terrific. I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. Definitely worth seeing. It could even be a film of the year already, because well, there's a few other films I haven't seen yet which had come out this year, so I don't know if that's really going to be the film of the year yet, but I can honestly say this was a film worth seeing. And man, I definitely got what I wanted as it. I got what I wanted to see. So that's the last thing I've got to say on this. Yeah, I'm not sure what next video I'm going to come out with. I've been trying to come out with quite a lot of videos recently, and it's like I've had the topic, but I haven't had a good way to put the topic in a video. A lot of things have been going wrong recently mentally with me. Maybe I'll do a video about that and explain that in a bit more detail. But something I must have used to do in the olden days, I'm obviously just not doing now. Maybe because of a lot of things that went wrong. Anyway, but I don't want to let that drag on. So that's all I've got to say for this video, yeah, guys. Yeah, so thanks very much, yeah. And if you've seen the film, yeah, tell me what you think below, yeah. So thanks very much. I'll see you all later. Love who you are.